first day of Parliament, and it seems that the government is under a siege. All-round attack being mounted against the government on multiple quarters. With me, Leader of Opposition, the Rajya Sabha Arun Jaitley. Arunji, from what we have seen on the first day of Parliament today, is it safe to say that specifically on the question of the law ministry, the law minister being held responsible for changing a CBI probe report in coal scam, do you believe the ministry or the minister are responsible, sir?
Well, I am increasingly getting a suspicion that that is so. The reason is very clear. To put an end to the entire impasse in the Parliament, we have made a very simple proposal. What transpired in the law minister's chamber when government officials, PMO officials and CBI officers were there, including law officers of the Government of India, the best witness of that as to what transpired in that chamber is the law minister himself. The law minister is accountable to Parliament. The Supreme Court has not asked him to file an affidavit. His accountability is only before Parliament. And therefore, propriety demands that to put an end to this entire speculation, the law minister must appear before Parliament. He is a member of the Rajya Sabha, before the Rajya Sabha, and tell the Rajya Sabha exactly what happened. Now, to behave in a manner that no, the government will keep quiet, the government will not answer, for them to put up a bravado of a face and say, well, we are ready for a discussion. We don't want abstract discussions. We want a specific answer from the law minister to please tell us the details and through Parliament to the whole country as to what transpired in his chamber.
Sir, is it just about the law minister? Because what we also hear is that officials at the level of the Prime Minister's office were also involved in this entire exercise.
And that is exactly what we have.
You want the Prime Minister to respond to the law minister?
Well, the law minister certainly has to respond. Whether it was the officials of the PMO involved or not, the government must confirm. And whoever is in charge of the PMO, accountable on behalf of the PMO to Parliament, is the Prime Minister or the MOS, the Prime Minister's office. Either of them must inform the Parliament.
On another front, sir, what we are seeing now in capital, where protesters who are trying to express their anguish against the rule of law in Delhi, it seems that the government is hell-bent on creating a scenario that no protester can come out on the streets. Do you believe, sir, that the Delhi Police Commissioner should be held responsible for this?
Well, I think the protests are legitimate because the anger is legitimate. And therefore, the government or the police should not create a panic-like environment in Delhi. You have sufficient places of protest possible in Delhi. You must earmark those places of protest. You must give a freedom to the protesters to protest in those places. All over the world, you have squares and parks and gardens where protesters are allowed to protest. And they can therefore give vent to their feelings. To create a panic-like situation by barricading half the city, I don't think it's a very sensible thing that the police is doing.
And lastly, sir, on the question of the Joint Parliamentary Committee report, again, it seems an attempt is being made to keep the Prime Minister's office at arm's length. Do you not think, sir, that in all these scams that we have seen, the coal scam, the 2G scam, somewhere along the line, it's the Prime Minister himself who has made an attempt to insulate himself from his own government?
I have always wondered how history will analyze the present Prime Minister's tenure. And I think the high point of this tenure will be that they subverted every institution. This is an example by which a parliamentary institution through the JPC has been subverted to whitewash the sins of the government.
And on another note, sir, you say that it's an attempt being made by the Prime Minister to subvert the institutions of democracy, but the government, on the other hand, says it's the opposition which is running away from crucial debates and therefore no legislation can take place in Parliament.
We don't want abstract debates. We want specific answers. We want a specific answer as to what happened in the 2G case. If you come out with a JPC draft report which is in contradiction to what the Supreme Court has said, then nobody in the world is going to believe such a report.
Okay. Thank you so much.